This is kind of an awkward way to be ending the show. Do we have the statue for Ernie Johnson? And this is really pretty awkward. Who's got the statue for Ernie Johnson? Oh, it's indeed.
Hey, where's that award at? We wanted to, yes, sir. We wanted to hand deliver this to Ernie.
Wait, I want to give him the award. Oh, that's not the award, Ernie.
Oh, we dropped it, didn't you? Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Congratulations, my brother. And we love you. You definitely deserve it. You guys are amongst greatness right here with this man here. We understand that every night that we're there.
Love you,
Chuck?
brother.
Hey,
I'm
man.
Sully by sponsorship since
1989.
Love you, brother.
Hey, it couldn't happen to a better guy. The one thing I'm asked a lot, first of all, I'm asked, where's Kenny, where's Shaq, where's Ernie? Way too much. But the second question is Ernie Johnson as good as guys he's seen? He's the best. Congratulations, EJ.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, fellas. Hey, who's working tonight?
We have no idea. We have no idea.
There is a TNT doubleheader tonight, and I have no idea who's in the studio.
Y'all deal with that. Y'all close it. Y'all are way better. Oh, no, big fella, you way better. I gotta go.
Thank you, guys. Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley. That's awesome right there, fellas. Thank you. I will, actually, I'm going to keep this quick because I've got a noon flight tomorrow, and it's maybe in jeopardy at this point. I came out to that song, Family by Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, which is one of our family's favorite songs. Kind of speaks to the way we go about our lives, and this has been, these 3 days in New York have been awesome. Because we came up, my kids and grandkids and my wife, we all came up here. And so we've been doing New York for 3 days. And this is kind of a melding of all these families that I have, starting with my actual family, if they would stand up for a second. My wife Cheryl Ann, and my kids are Eric and Maggie and Carmen, Ashley and Allison, grandkids, Katie and Amy and Bennett and Everett and Adler. And man, you guys have been some troopers over there. They've been underneath the table for the last couple hours. They've been doing everything. My daughter-in-law Quinn and my son-in-law Everett and Dustin. We've got something on in our kitchen that says, we didn't realize we were making memories, we were just having fun. That's kind of what we do. And this weekend has certainly fit that bill. My Turner family, or Warner Brothers Discovery family, guys stand up. Luis Silberwasser is our boss. Stand up, Luis, if you would, please. Craig Berry is over there. Scooter Vertino is over there. Nate Smeltz. See, Steve Fiorello, the great director. The greatest producer I've ever worked with is Tim Kiley, who's now retired. I say that and I can almost hear Chuck saying, oh, come on, stop it. He's not that good. I don't even know what a producer does. He doesn't, but you are, TK. You're an amazing producer. And you get in these other families, like the NBA family, and Adam's out here, I know, and Tom Corelli. That marriage has been just so good. And I mean, to be sitting in that chair for 34 years hosting Inside the NBA has been awesome. To do March Madness, and you've heard about Sean and David, thank you. I've enjoyed every minute of being in that partnership with y'all for March Madness. And the folks who represent me and have for years and years at Career Sports and Entertainment, Lonnie Cooper, Bobby Height, Mark Carmody, thank you so much. You guys have had my back the entire time. I wish my mom and dad could be here. They were such great supporters of me and never forced me into, look, I wanted to be a baseball player like my dad. Played for the Braves back in the 50s. And I walked on to the baseball team at the University of Georgia as a freshman, and then was told to walk off as a sophomore. And so there went the baseball dream. And my dad had been a broadcaster forever after he played. And he never forced me into trying this. It was just like, you know what? I was going to be an English teacher and a baseball coach. And then I worked at the campus radio station at the University of Georgia, WUOG. Went to the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communications. And the bug bit me. And first TV job was in Macon, Georgia, where I anchored the news. That was 1979. I was 23 years old. I looked like I was 12 people, but I really was the only station in town, so people were forced to watch. And the support my mom and dad gave me was awesome. And back in those days, it wasn't like they could watch very much. You know, they lived in Atlanta, I'm working in Macon, but they were driving home from, this is a true story, they were driving home from spring training one year when my dad was still doing baseball. And they were like around Perry, Georgia, which is just south of Macon. And they looked at their watch and they said, you know what? If we could find a TV, we could watch Ernie doing the 6 o'clock news. And so, as fate would have it, they pull into a little hotel in Perry, Georgia, and they quickly get out of the car, run to the front desk, and my dad proudly announces to the guy, we need a room for a half hour. And the clerk was obviously a Braves fan, and he recognized my dad. He said, all right, Ernie. And my dad says, no, we just want to watch my son anchor the news in Macon. He said, hey, it's okay. It's all right. So I miss Ernie and Lois tonight, because they'd be getting a kick out of this. I never would have thought back then that I'd ever have a night like this in my life. See, I was a news guy. Okay, I'm anchoring the news in Macon, and then I go to Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I know this resume is impressing the hell out of me. And then I go to Atlanta, and all of these are news jobs. And I tell students all the time, I said, you never know what's going to happen. I said, be as diversified as you can, because you never know. You know, the next news director might have something else in mind for you. And that happened in my case. It's not just a news director who has something in line. Look, there is divine intervention at every step. So here I am at WSB, and on the first day that a news director named Rabin Matthews takes over, I'm filling in for a sports guy. I'm a news guy, but I'm filling in for a sports dude. I'm doing a live shot from Atlanta Stadium before a Braves game. And I show up to work the next day, and his assistant says, Rabin would like to see you. And so I look for a pretty sturdy cardboard box and begin placing things in it. It didn't take long for this guy to make a move on me, and he said, ever thought about doing sports? I said, I love sports. I'd love to do sports. And he said, you're the new weekend sports anchor. And everything changed. That was in 1983. 6 years of working the weekends at WSB, and then I get a phone call from Don McGuire and Bob Wussler at TBS. And they've been able to watch me do my thing for 6 years on the weekends in Atlanta. And suddenly I was going across the street to Turner Broadcasting. And I've been there ever since. And there's something that doesn't deserve applause. You know what's cool? It's like my dad was a broadcaster for TBS. For as long as there's been TBS, our family's been involved in it, and that means the world to me, because my dad taught me about loyalty. My dad taught me everything. How to be a husband, how to be a father, how to be a professional. And so to still be sitting there in that chair for 34 seasons inside the NBA, it's pretty special. And for me, it's not always been about who wins and who loses. It's been about the moments, and it's about the people you meet. I mean, the folks that I've had a chance to work with, the best in the business. And for me, it is moments. It's like being in Cuba and standing next to the batting cage and just trying to communicate with somebody in Havana about how much we love baseball while we're watching BP, and somehow it works. It's watching Dan Jansen circle the oval in Norway with his baby after he finally wins a gold medal. And it's his baby Jane, named after his sister who had died of leukemia when he had slipped at the Olympics in Calgary. That's what it's about. It's about playing catch with Ron Darling at Wrigley Field before we called a playoff game. Those are the moments I never forget. It's going out for dinner with a lot of y'all. Those are the moments I'll treasure. And I'm going to close this way because Steve, you kind of brought this up. I'm glad I did prepare something, man. You almost painted me into a corner. And Adam, you know this, and everybody at Turner and WBD knows this. Since the mid-90s, I've written poems about our work. You know, we would complete an NFL season on the road. And then for our wrap party, I would write like a 3-page poem that people came to dread because things that had happened on the road were suddenly about to be revealed. And it got a little uncomfortable. And I would have people afterwards come up and say, thanks for not putting me in the poem, I appreciate it. Because when we were in Cincinnati, I don't know if you heard, no, that's okay, I had plenty of material. But I've done that for the NFL, did it for Wimbledon, the Open Championship. Adam Silver knows that every year at the Legends Brunch, I write one about the host city and the players who have played there. And this one's only about 1.5 minutes long. but it just kind of talks about the way this night has gone and kind of the way our family has looked at that. That we're blessed. And here goes. And again, and let me say this too. Actual real poets, they spit on this, okay? And so this, I apologize. This is not anything for the archives, but I hope you enjoy it. And it talks about this night. I'm blessed to look out at the faces I see, thankful for what you have all meant to me. I'm humbled and grateful to have had a career that somehow allowed me to be standing here. Blessed to have parents who showed me the way, to know a guy, Jesus, who guides me each day. Blessed with co-workers who are really much more their friends and their family, right down to the core. Blessed that one day in 1982, a woman named Cheryl uttered 2 words, "I do." She's a snapshot of beauty, compassion, and grit. For 41 years, she's put up with my schedule. Blessed by 6 children with hearts of pure gold. You leave me in awe, if the whole truth be told. And thanks for 5 grandkids who bring us such pleasure. Being their poppy is a gift and a treasure. I'm blessed to still work at a job that I love, and they pay me to do it. That's beyond and above. It's something that I've never taken for granted, a seed my late father, the broadcaster, planted. Blessed to be honored with Val and with Tony as leaders among us. These 2 stand alone. E. Andrea knows how to question and probe, reporting for decades all over the globe. Jeff's as iconic as the moments he's seen. His lens is a canvas, his focus so keen. Steve has the tech savvy, and as you all know, Tom does his best work in super slow mo. Chris has a true gift for breaking things down and stores all his Emmys in a warehouse downtown. And I worked with Lance, and this is what's up. The guy can produce. And he starred in Tin Cup. Blessed that when we all walk out of this place, we'll have memories no one can ever erase. In short, what I've spent these few minutes expressing is my sincere thanks. This is simply a blessing. Love you all.
Singing in the kitchen, running through the yard, going on vacation on the credit card. All in this together, we're taking a chance. Like birds of a feather, you got the shoes in dance.
So as we wrap up this evening, I just was sharing with Ernie how David Burson, the new CEO and president of CBS Sports, learned well from Sean. He told me prior to the MC responsibility tonight, don't ad-lib because you can't hold a candle to Lance. So I didn't. And he said in terms of saying goodnight, the one who tugs the heart the most would be you. So I'll leave the goodnight to you, to the group.
This was not planned. But thank you all. This is such a cool night. Great to be part of it. I know, Eric. See, this is It's on the inside of my coat. This is what we do. This is what we do because we miss our son, my son, and we miss Michael. And he would love being here. But we have this. And this is for you too. Love y'all. Have a good night.